First off is you choose any comfortable sitting posture. And remember, whenever you notice a discomfort coming into your legs, you can change them. And equally, as I said on the first day, there might be times when sitting is not what we want to do, then just you allow yourself to lie down and take part in the practice as good as you can. And with your eyes being closed, have that feeling that you're looking into your own body. And have that feeling of smiling into your own body. In your body is space. And in that space that is in your body, your breath is flowing like a wave up and down. The inhalation has this wave-like movement from the lower tip of your spine through that space that is in the body up to the crown, the top of your head. And the exhalation has this wave-like movement moving from the crown through the space in your body down to the lower tip of your spine. Breathe a moment with this feeling so that you can feel this wave-like movement of the breath in the space that is in your body. Also begin to notice that between each breath there is a gap, there's a pause. So when the inhalation has come to an end, feel the pause. And when the exhalation has come to an end, feel the pause. Now bring your awareness to feel the entire spine. Imagine somebody has a soft, small ball, placing it at the lower tip of your spine, and now gently beginning to roll this soft ball up your spine, as such touching each part, each vertebra of your spine, waking it up. With this feeling, and very slowly, with your next inhalation, begin to lengthen your spine, as if you are lengthening it vertebra by vertebra. This will bring an activity feeling into your spine, but if that activity feeling has a tension to it, then relax it a little. Now moving your awareness to the crown, the top of your head. Feel energy is flowing from the crown into the spine, from there into the lower tip of your spine. With this feeling, and when you are exhaling, gently lift the crown of the head, tuck the chin in slightly, and feel that energy flowing from the top across the back of your head into the neck, into the spine. In this way, you can feel the body in relation to these two energies, the energy of uplifting, the energy of gravity. And for a moment, if that is helpful, you can lean a bit forwards or backwards. You can make small circular movements with your spine till you feel you have found a position where these two energies are very balanced. Do not hold your breath. Let it flow. And then this movement can come to an end. Now bring your awareness to your pelvic floor, to your anus lifter. And very consciously begin to contract your anus lifter, lift it up, and then let it relax. Repeat this 3 steps. You're contracting, you're lifting up, and you relax. If possible, you can coordinate this with your breathing. So when you're breathing out, you're contracting and lifting up. And with your inhalation, not pushing down, but relaxing, letting go. As with every exhalation, you're contracting and lifting up. Feel pushing an energy from the lower tip into your spine to make your spine more active. With this feeling and with your next exhalation, contract your anus lifter, lift it up and gently lengthen your spine. Retaining that activity feeling in your spine, relax your anus lifter a little. Watch your breathing. Now move your awareness to your lower abdominis, that is the area between your pubic bone and the navel. Slowly feel to contract your lower abdominis and then let relax. Do not push them out. If you can, do this in the rhythm of your breathing, so that when you're breathing out, you draw the lower abdominis in, and when you're breathing in, you just let them relax. You could imagine that there's an energy in your lower abdominis, and you're squeezing it, and then you're releasing the squeeze. Feel that with every exhalation, you're pushing this energy into your spine up to the crown. And with this feeling, with your next exhalation, also begin gently once more to lengthen your spine, including the neck, crown lifts, chin slightly tucked in. Relax this activity a little. So now the pelvic floor, the lower abdominis are in an activation, but there is no tightness. Feel your breathing. And bringing your awareness to the movement of breathing that you can experience in your chest. Feel the movement of inhalation as a very gentle movement of an expansion. And feeling the movement of the exhalation as a very gentle movement of a contraction. Your chest between your shoulders. And with your next inhalation, see if your chest gently can expand And you can feel that opening across your chest. And with your exhalation, just roll the shoulders back and down, and this might affect your arm and hand positioning. So place your hands anywhere comfortable. Watch and experience your breathing. Now bring your awareness to your palms. They might be facing down, they might be facing up. Bring your awareness to the tip of your index fingers. The tip of the index finger is seen as a reminder of our individual self, of all that which constitutes the I, the self. It reminds us to be consciously aware of the body, the senses, the breath, the mind, thoughts and emotions. And it also reminds us of the deeper aspects of the individual self. It reminds us that in our body there is a space. In that space that is in the body, there is an energy of a silence. It is in this silence that thoughts arise, they move through it and they dissolve back into it. It is the nature of the thoughts and the activities of the mind that it belongs to the time factor. The silence is eternal. It is in that space that is in our body that there is a bubbling energy of joy. It is this energy of joy that leads to movements. Every movement has a beginning, a peak, and an end. So every movement belongs to the time factor. The energy of joy is eternal. Try to feel this. Now moving your awareness to the tip of your thumbs. They are to remind us of what we can call the universal self, the universal soul, the other. It reminds us that around us is a vast and unlimited space. And in this vast, unlimited space, objects are placed. But as long as we are aware of these objects, near or far, small or big, moving or not moving, as long as we are aware of them in relation to this vast, unlimited space, they cannot disturb the mind. In this vast, unlimited space around us is also a silence. It is in this silence that sounds and noises appear, they move through it, and they dissolve back into it. So the sounds and noises, they have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. Therefore, they belong to the time factor. The silence is eternal. It is in this vast, unlimited space around us that there is an energy of joy. It is from this joy that movements come. And it is from our mind that we judge these movements. But if we are realizing that energy of joy, we can allow these movements to appear, to move, and to end. They belong to the time factor. The joy is eternal. To remind us of this relationship between the I and the other, the individual self and the universal self, we bring the tip of the index finger to touch the tip of their thumb, so that there is this very gentle touch. It is a reminder of this relationship. We need to have this gentle touch to experience each other. If there's no touch, we cannot experience each other. But the touch is gentle, it has no force, so it respects each other. In the yoga practice, we are reminded of all these foundations. So when we are engaging in our formal practice, as well as when we are engaging in our daily lives, to remind us of the foundations of the existence in us and around us. Now bringing your awareness to your breathing. And beginning to become aware of that flow-like movement of the inhalation, and also being aware of that flow-like movement of the exhalation. What we call inhalation is a movement between two spaces. The inhalation is a movement from the space around us to the space in us. And what we call exhalation is the movement from the space in us to the space around us. Try to breathe a moment with this awareness that the breath is moving between two spaces. When the inhalation has completed, the awareness can rest in the silence that is in the body. When the exhalation has completed, we can rest in the silence, in the space that is outside of the body. Now moving your awareness to the area of the upper lip, the tip of your nose, your nostrils. Holding your awareness here with the intention to feel the subtlety of sensation, of touch, of temperature as the breath is moving in and as the breath is moving out. Relaxed awareness is not an issue if you do not feel anything. Just holding your awareness here while the process of breathing in and breathing out takes place. Now breathing with this feeling that you're following your breath. So with your next inhalation, feel to follow that gentle flow of the breath at the tip of your nose, your nostrils, up to the root of your nose, and then down to the pit of your throat. And when you're exhaling, feel to follow that flow of the exhalation from the pit of your throat to the root of your nose, out at the nostrils, the tip of your nose. Breathe a moment like this, feeling that you're moving your awareness with the energy in the breath flowing from the nostrils to the root of your nose, and when you're breathing out from the pit of your throat, to the root of your nose, out at the nostrils. Feeling the flow of the energy in the breath from the tip of your nose to the root of your nose to the pit of your throat. And feeling that gentle inner touch of the breath with your exhalation, flowing from the pit of your throat to the root of your nose, out at your nostrils. Now letting your breathing very gently grow so that the energy in your breath is growing. Feeling when you're breathing in the gentle touch of the breath flowing from the tip of your nose, the nostrils, to the root of your nose, pit of your throat, down into the chest, the heart region. And when you're breathing out, letting the movement of the breath and feeling that gentle touch of the flow from the heart region to the pit of your throat, root of your nose, out at the nostrils, the tip of your nose. Breathing a moment like this. Breathing with this feeling that you're gently breathing a little bit more actively, longer and deeper. And with your next inhalation, feel to follow the breath, the energy moving from the tip of your nose, the nostrils, root of your nose, pit of the throat, heart region, down to the navel region. And when you're breathing out, feel to follow that gentle sensation of touch flowing from the navel region, heart region, pit of your throat, root of your nose, out at the nostrils, the tip of your nose. Now with your next slow, deep inhalation, feel the pause. When you're exhaling, feel you gently draw the lower abdominis in and pushing the energy of the breath down to the lower tip of your spine. And with your inhalation, feel now that you're moving the energy that is in your breathing from the lower tip of your spine, up your spine to the top of your head. And when you're breathing out, feel you're gently pushing the energy in the breath from the top of your head through the spine down to the lower tip of your spine. Having that feeling that you're breathing up and down your spine. The inhalation from the tailbone to the crown, and the exhalation, a movement from the crown to the tailbone. Now feeling that with every breathing, the energy that is in your spine is expanding into the entire body. It will bring that feeling that the entire body is breathing like in one rhythm. That with your inhalation, the entire body very gently like a balloon is expanding. And with the exhalation, the entire balloon of the body contracting. Do not cross any boundaries. Have that feeling that you let your breathing gently grow more, as if you have the intention to reach the limits of your expansion. And equally that with your exhalation you want to reach the limits of your contraction. As you're breathing like this, you might be able to listen to that very gentle sound of your breathing in the silence, in the space that is in your body. In those moments when there is the pause, you will be able therefore to experience the silence that is in the body more clearly. Now relax any effort around your breathing. Just experience your breathing. Watch your breathing and experiencing it. And you might notice how the subtle sound of breathing resolves back into the silence that is in your body. And you can experience the silence that is in your body. Good. Several years ago, there was a talk by the Buddhist teacher Tanisaru Bhikkhu, I think, and he called it working and playing with the breath. And I think that's exactly that. We move together with the breath, and you could imagine it's like an elastic. You pull it a bit that direction and that helps it often to free up a bit. But at the end, you just let your breath flow, and sometimes it has just become a bit freer, and the breathing experience is more comfortable. And so It says pranayama, which is often translated as the yogic breath practices. The highest pranayama is just being with your breath. Because you wouldn't be able to do pranayama day and night. So, but if you see it more like this, and then obviously you have some pranayama practices that work on your abdomens. But my yoga teacher said when you look at the yoga teachings, it's also about calming the mind. So you need, especially nowadays, to use mostly practices that don't exalt your mind or make it more agitated. So he looked, because he's Indian, he looked in Sanskrit scriptures, and he says there are lots of other breath practices, and therefore his teachings are generally more pranayama, you might not know, but it's mostly to create a harmony in body and breath, so they are not the normal ones, you know. Okay, he knows the other ones as well. In the beginning he taught them to us, and then slowly he stopped with that. So they are really nice, they really are fun, and they can be very energizing, but it's nice to have others as well, so that you can use the practice that helps you to bring your mind into that place of harmony. And mostly we need more soothing, calming practices. Occasionally we need more energizing practices. Good. With this in mind, I would like you to lie on the front, so we can start on the front. Traditionally in the yoga you would always at one point have the chin on the floor. But sometimes people find that very uncomfortable, so often it's now also taught to have the forehead on the floor. My experience is that my nose is in the way, and I was told when you are aging, two bits of your body do not stop growing. It's your nose and it's your ears. And I can vaguely remember when I went on holidays in the Black Forest, my mum took us there when we were younger, and you were a small child, and I remember one farmer who seemed to have gigantic ears. So I guess he started already off with quite a good size, but it's the truth really. If you look at photos, these are, I don't know, I think it's, so that means at one point forehead on the floor, your nose is in the way. So then you might want to just roll up a towel or a blanket. I think the yoga blocks are often too high, or just your yoga mat. So if you decide that, and you can play occasionally, you could put your chin on the chest, and when you feel that's uncomfortable, you put your forehead down there. So play with that. Sometimes people have good big cushions, and when then they put their head on the side, that would not be very comfortable and overstretch their neck. So again, sometimes you might just want to tuck something under your side, a sock or just a smaller blanket. So feel free to work with it. But I mostly will give the traditional instructions where you move your chin forwards and then you lift your spine. But then you can always change that to say you're moving your forehead forwards, and then you just lift a little bit, yeah, so that you know that is equally okay. So see if you can lie on your front. Feel free to cover yourself if you need to. That's fine. If not, you can take it away. I find often, and you're very slim, that my hip bones are so aching on this. So I got a nice, my yoga students bought me a cork yoga mat. And that is the most comfortable. Yeah. But otherwise it's good to have an extra padding on the hips. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So now our conversation is up there. It was just about the cork mat. Yeah, then you might know that now we stop and then start, and then you take that middle one out.